Nice!
Oh, denied.
Hey! Hey!
Whoa,
Welcome
dude.
to Bodega Nights. My name is Martin, and we got Jao. What's up, man?
Hey, man. It's two-man Bodega Nights again. And my
It's two-band
recording...
Bodega. Nice!
Nice. Oh, dude, my recording is coming in kind of loud.
Sorry.
That's cool. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm like, very, very happy that the 69th episode has been released for Third World Gaming featuring Critical Index. It's a monumental and 69th episode of them all on channel14.com. So you have to check it out here on
Nice.
channel14.com.
Man,
Nice.
how was it? What did who was your guest for the 69th?
Ironically, there were 4 guests. 3 of the 4 guests were already in a former guesting spots in Jobber Talk.
Okay.
Because it's local wrestling. The 4th one was one of their newest members, so that's kind of cool. So, yeah, we got a new guest, but it's also some old voices we've heard in channel14.com in the past 2 years, so it's kind of cool. And it's kind of nice to catch up with them, because, the last time I interviewed them for Jobber Talk, I went to one of their offices in Rockwell Drive. One of them works there.
Okay.
And then the other guest lives in Bel Air. So I also went there to his place just to record that and an April Fool's episode segment where he was in too.
Oh, man.
God damn, I miss Rockwell now. Damn it.
So, what's it? You were mentioning before we started recording that you're going to be guesting on a podcast this week or next week. Whoa.
I know. Depends
Tell me
on
about
when it's going to be released. It is a podcast or a video series that my friend's doing. His name is Yanks.
Okay.
AKA, we call him the mayor of Youngstown.
Okay.
It's a show called One-on-One with the Brutal One. And it's starring him, of course, and 2 of his stuffed toys.
What is this? Like a local wrestling sort of thing, or?
Oh, no, he's a wrestling fan. But he is quite the character. And we love him for that. So I think it's like, how do you say this? It's like someone who's owning up or playing up to the meme that happened to them. I don't know if is that how you call it? Like, say, man, this is hard to talk about. Gilbert Godfrey being Gilbert Godfrey. Is that a good correlation to this? I don't know. Maybe it's a wrong terminology.
I don't know the guys.
Yeah. Gilbert Godfrey, this kind of voice.
No, I don't know. I mean, like, I know Gilbert
you
Godfrey,
don't know the mayor.
but I don't know the mayor. Yeah, so.
Holy shit, you should listen to my Jobber Talk episodes featuring the mayor. I'm gonna link you after this. My God, this is so fun. This is gonna be a fun episode. I'm gonna link to that episode where he was ranting on, and in between I had to cut it off with a commercial because it lasted for 3 minutes in the recording. And I have 3 minutes of him ranting about to going in the or something.
Was that on
We were just gonna talk about the wrestling episode. It's on Jobber Talk.
Was all of that in the episode, or do I have to censor this out?
We can put that on this episode. Don't have to censor it out. It actually happened
All right.
in the episode that I had to censor out and put a commercial break. So we can go back in topic.
So
This is not libel, right? This is talking about editing things.
man,
And again, I said, I love this guy. So hell yeah, I'm excited to be a guest. I just hope I am well fed, well slept. So I have at least 6 to 7 hours of sleep after this. I don't know. I hope I do.
wait. So when does this come out? Like, you're recording. You're going to be recording this in like 6 hours, 7 hours from now.
I think in 8 to 9 hours. So that's 8 p.m. Manila time.
Okay.
It's going to be a Sunday night. Usually he delivers the episodes on a Saturday or Sunday.
Okay, so
9
this is
PM,
going to be coming out before. So this Bodega Nights episode is going to be coming out before you show up on his YouTube channel.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
I mean, no, because we're not
So
going
it's
to be
like-
able to link anything here. We're not going to be able to link to your episode specifically. So I don't know.
Doesn't have to. I think we can use some producer magic and link it somewhere when it's out.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
obviously.
I think there's more than one person who can handle the channel14.com account. So yeah,
Okay.
it's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Now we should set up.
We're not gonna.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm just again excited and scared because I don't know how to be a guest. I mean, I've been a guest, but it's reviewing a wrestling show. I've been a guest somewhere in Cubao, but that episode never dropped. We were in Cubao Expo area. It was a weird studio place. It's a rental studio where they usually have people record their songs, like bands and stuff.
One of those, yeah.
So it felt weird that he had to rent a place there just to record a podcast featuring me, which never came out. I don't know why. Maybe because our views are too... It's like Bodega nights on steroids. Like, imagine... I think part of that episode I was going full John because we were talking about Captain Marvel.
Okay, yeah, one of those.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, one of those. Okay.
If you know. Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's funny because I
fuck her
actually
there.
I actually defended the actress on that. I'm like, well, that statement is kind of true. If you check out the backgrounds of the authors or the writers, that's true. However, it's like that person being a, about it. That's it. That's all I can say. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Speaking of things, so aside from the guesting, aside from stuff, if you noticed, I linked something to our other group chat. It's also a Google link. I don't think they're listening to this right now, except one of them. So shout out to Rafi, and good job for doing the initiative of doing an audio version of Access Anonymous, a project that our friend Doc Joem has been doing for a few years back. Like, it has a website.
Yeah, man. Access Anonymous is pretty cool. And they're pretty much doing like, I'm going to call it an audiobook version, right?
Yeah. It's like audible.com.
Sponsor us, Audible. Sponsor us.
Sponsor us, audible.com.
Please.
Well, so yeah, they have that. So the first season, the entries, they have those test audio clips. We won't link that here, of course, because come on, guys.
Yeah.
We won't link it until it's released. But I have listened to at least one or two of them, and I might say, damn, I feel jealous. We talked about this, like, maybe outside of recording an episode or two of Bodega Nights, that, hey, maybe if we have more free time, let's try to do this due to quarantine. And like, yeah, cool. And then, the road to 69 episodes hit me, and like, man, I have to do audio editing. I have to do this and that. So a lot of things fell to the wayside, like editing for podcasts, doing that, uploading it to our site. And of course, my work here in this country of South America.
Yeah.
So that also has to take precedence. This is the only Saturday I felt like no one actually legitimately called me like more than 1 hour. So like I had a call for 30 minutes on a Saturday, or an email or whatever.
Right.
But no, just a call for 20 minutes. That's it, about work. And then just this afternoon, I went with my workmate to go to a store to double check for supplies for, protection, like masks or face shields.
Oh, okay. Protection.
But it's not,
protection. I see.
it's not as, a facial protection, It's weird because there's not much disposable masks here. They have mostly clothed masks. It's weird. The fabric feels like it's a t-shirt. The one they're selling. There are certain fabrics that feels like it's a legit mask, but it's not the filtered ones. Is this one like the surgical ones? No, but it's for sale. Like, okay. So is this gonna protect us, or it's just a fashion statement? I mean, I'm happy that you're providing masks, but is it gonna help us? Or is this gonna make us look cool?
Well, ideally it's both, right? Ideally you both look cool and,
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, like, it's not helping me feel at ease when I was checking the prices. Like, really?
Oh, well.
For 10 of these, it has to be 25 or 30 reais. And then I go to another store that sells the same units, 10, for a bit cheaper price. And I'm like, well, dear God, it's the same product.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I'll just go here. I mean, I don't have to, go a bit farther. I'll just go here then next week. It's the same thing. Like, do you have that in Cebu? Like, okay, there's this one store that sells the masks. Well, it looks expensive. And then you go to another store. Oh, thank God I didn't buy that mask because it's cheaper here. It's the same thing. Same damn thing.
Do we? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do. Right? Like, it's a thing.
Hold on. Zhao, how is Cebu? Because there's a lot of misleading social media posts about army and military being stationed there now.
Well, they're everywhere.
That's real. I don't know.
Yeah, sort of. It's not like, it's not as how do you call it? It's not as widespread, right? But it's still sort of unnerving, or if that's the right term for it, Yeah.
Okay then. But how freely can you go around and about outside your house?
Oh, not at all.
Compared to a few months back.
Barely.
Is it better or worse?
It's worse.
Does it? So it's worse than the March 2020 version of ECQ.
Oh yeah, we were pretty chill back in March. Yeah, I will say that it's gotten a bit worse now. That's something that really like frustrates me about Cebu, because we started out so well, right? And then it all just sort of fell apart somewhere,
Where did it went wrong though? Like for you?
I really have no idea.
Okay, it just happened.
I think we tested too much too early. We didn't keep up with the rest of the... We weren't as slow as the rest of the country. I think that's part of it.
Okay, I guess.
Right, like... But, I don't know.
But if it means that, maybe this is second wave. At least you're in the second wave. I don't know if NCR is in the second wave. It still seems like it's the first one.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Nobody knows what waves mean anymore.
Nobody knows. Yeah.
Like nobody knows what anything means anymore in this world.
The only wave I know is wave 89.1, baby. So watch out. This coming Saturday,
nice.
channel14.com, episode 70. Stan C of Wave 89.1 is our guest on Third World Gaming featuring Critical Index. Sorry, I got to practice for the guesting of the mayor. Of the mayor's show.
Man, I really like the way that once it has evolved, that Third World Gaming featuring Critical Index has evolved. It's become a really good show.
I feel bad because I went to the stream of Greg, X, and Day, and I've yet to invite Daily for Third World Gaming because you do want him to be a guest, right? For Hearthstone. I didn't even ask him if he actually casts Hearthstone. Oh wait, or was it someone else, not Daily? Damn it!
Yeah.
I knew I should have asked him online. Hey, Day, are you casting Hearthstone? John wants to guest with you. Oh man, I don't know. Oh wait, no, it's Gia D. There we go. Yeah. God damn! Why did they rhyme so much?
Huh, man.
But speaking of Hearthstone, I gotta ask you, what got you into that game? I know this is not Third World Gaming, but yeah, what I see you and your girlfriend play that sometimes when I hang out with you guys.
Yeah, dude. I'm a bit of a Blizzard fanboy. Like,
Okay.
Like my Blizzard games were kind of my jam growing up. So when they released Hearthstone, it just seemed. It just seemed like the thing to do.
Okay, that's good.
Now, when
But is it like Magic the Gathering kind of thing, or is it more of a Pokemon trading card game kind of thing?
It's I'd say it's a lot simpler than Magic the Gathering, right? At least in terms of mechanics. So that's in terms of mechanics, it's a little bit simpler, but it's still got a lot of depth to it. If that makes sense.
Kind of. And speaking of which, because I know in the past episodes of not only Bodega Nights, but also in Third World Linux, you and AG would usually talk in the off-tangent segment that you guys would watch certain streams, and certain streams I remember you guys were talking about would be StarCraft 2.
Well, not only StarCraft 2.
The esports. I think also Dota.
Oh, that was AG, man.
Dota was AG, yeah.
AG watched a lot of Dota. Me, not so much. It really wasn't, because it really isn't my game.
Okay. And speaking of streams,
Dota,
does that mean you also watch Hearthstone streams? And that's what you mentioned, why you mentioned this Hearthstone caster?
Yeah, I watch a lot of Hearthstone streams.
Okay, so aside from this Jaya D, who else is the Hearthstone casters you remember you watch sometimes casting these live stream of card games?
Well, there really aren't too many of them, right?
Okay, so you would know the names then.
More or less, but I'm kind of blanking on them now. It's so bad. Sotel.
Okay.
Sotel, the dude with blue hair and all of that, man. Yeah.
Okay, any Filipinos? Because I have had a guest that casts.
Yeah. But, I will say that, I don't know. Wait, sorry if I'm kind of distracted. If I seem kind of distracted, I'm trying something out with, what do you call it? What's the name of this program? With OBS. I'm trying something out with OBS.
OBS? Which is OBS? Is this the one that has 2 camera angle thing that you did before?
Sort of, yeah.
I remember that. Nice.
Man, how is this going to work? How does this work? Because I wanna do a video version of this. That'd be pretty cool.
Okay.
Can you turn on your video?
I'm kind of camera shy.
All right, sorry.
No.
All right.
It's not all right.
Sorry about that, dude.
Remember, I want to make sure our ping is okay. That's why we're turning on off our video, right?
Yeah.
Remember, third world internet meets another third world internet. It doesn't have a good ending.
When third world internets meet.
Yes. When third world internets collide.
That's like that Power Man 5000 song.
Yes, that was part of SmackDown vs. Raw soundtrack. They used that, Worlds Collide, because it's Raw versus SmackDown. And it was in the music video featuring John Cena and a young Randy Orton. When John Cena was still in SmackDown and Orton was still in Raw. So yeah, that was almost 15 years ago. Holy shit, that's 16 years ago. It's 16 years ago. Jesus. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was released 2004, man.
Huh.
Holy
old, dude.
We old. Oh man. Oh man. I mean, 2004, you were just first year high school and I was entering the best time of my high school life.
Wait, 2004?
Yeah.
That was my first year of college.
Yeah,
dude.
you were... Oh yeah, your first year of... sorry.
Yeah.
And it was in my third year of high school. My third year of high school. God. The best half of high school for me. When you know that you're leaving the hell out of your high school. You're just gonna try to do anything to enjoy.
Now that last year of high school is amazing. Like when
I know.
When senioritis starts kicking in, that's the best.
Oh man, I remember after finishing all the entrance exams I took, it was true. Most of my high school or grade school, high school people would go to La Salle or Ateneo So obviously my choice would have been anyway, even though I passed all three of them. Four of them, if you count CSB. I never took UP. Did you try taking UP?
Nope. I missed the deadline.
Me neither. Oh, I just didn't care.
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah, I missed the deadline.
The campus area and the area itself, which made me say no to Ateneo as well because of traffic, really, no, sorry. But what could have been if I took that and passed and took it anyway? Because I would go there in actually like 2 years ago, like 2018, when we were covering MWF. They were holding their shows in UP Bahinang Alumni.
Oh, I really like that.
Cool.
I really like that place.
Bahinang Alumni, right?
Yeah. They have a really good restaurant there.
Wait, there's a restaurant there?
Huh?
I didn't notice there was a restaurant there.
Yeah,
it was just
they have
it was just a venue for wrestling for me.
Right. Yeah, they have like a restaurant that has really good that has like a really good fish fillet. I'm not sure if it's still around.
Oh man,
I can't remember.
Okay.
I can't remember what it's called either. But yeah.
I think it's gone because I didn't notice. I mean, like it should be just near that place then if it was there.
It's off to the side though. Like it's not.
Like
it's not inside. Yeah, it's not inside. Although for dinner there's like a second floor, right? And I think like
there's a second floor.
For dinner they open up the second floor or something.
The second floor they use it for their tech booth.
Right.
If you're talking about Bainang Alumni itself, so yeah.
Yeah, there's a tech booth there, but there's also like I think the restaurant is there. I'm not sure.
Okay. So yeah, I miss going to UP, but I do not miss going and leaving UP on a Saturday night.
I don't know, man. I really like the campus, but I really couldn't.
Yeah.
I really couldn't do the whole day in day out in
Same here
in UP, except like if I lived in that area. But,
me too. Like you live in Swanky, or across before. I live in So obviously, if I had the power to choose, and I did, thank God, I chose.
Right.
I'm sorry, guys.
It's a pretty good school, man.
Yeah, I mean, I was there, you were there, our group met, this website happened, you guys were both broken and unemployed one day in 2013, established this, 3 years later I joined up 2016, and now 2020, we're kind of hanging out here on a Saturday night. We're bored, semi-broke, yet employed.
Yeah, we're just bored and broke now.
Yeah, bored and broke.
Except maybe Norm.
More
maybe
ways
that guy's
than one.
rich.
Oh man, he's like stacked right now.
That's pretty cool. And Biko, those guys are baller.
Because they're balling. Yeah, sadly he can't make it either because I think he's always busy until 11 or 12 on Sundays in the afternoon. I don't know.
Yeah. The thing is,
but next week.
What's it like? Norm, Omiko is usually like not available on Sunday morning.
But Sunday nights.
Yeah, Miko is available on Sunday nights. Norm, well, it's kind of 50-50. So, to anybody listening, like if you hear Miko, that means we recorded on Sunday night Manila time, which is Sunday morning in Brazil, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm good. Yeah. I actually like it. But yeah, speaking of Brazil, jeez. It's just weird. Like, we're still second, and I know that the numbers of positive cases are more on the south areas, like Rio or Sao Paulo, but if you go through density or through, like, infected cases by population, we're topping that.
Yeah?
Like, per 500 per 1,000, the federal district is topping that right now. Because our numbers are basically the numbers of the national statistic of cases positive in the Philippines right now. So we're also 50K if you check it out.
Yeah. Brasilia like the city has a
Yes.
population density problem, huh? It's a lot like parts of the Philippines where
Not as bad as Sao Paulo or Rio, but we're still a bit dense. We're like the fourth or fifth most populated state.
right. Because I remember like reading something like at least the city of Brasilia was designed to have like a certain number of people in it, and as of
Sorry, Joe.
yeah.
What's the count in the Philippines right now?
I'm not sure. I think it's about 50,000 or something.
Okay, we're 68,406.
In the federal district.
Confirmed. Yep.
Huh.
Well, that sucks.
That means you're testing.
I guess, or not. I don't know. They're testing those with symptoms, not testing those who don't have symptoms.
Yeah. That tends to inflate the numbers, huh? Like if you're not showing symptoms. If you test people that don't show symptoms. Which is sort of what should be done in the first place, right? Like, if you're going to be doing effective contact tracing, you're going to have to test people without symptoms. Yeah. And it was only
you got to.
It was only earlier this month, I think, that that they started doing it here in the Philippines. That they started like testing people without symptoms, and you know, this is that thing that frustrates me, because like Cebu started out quite well. Dude, we were testing people without symptoms and trying to contact trace right at the beginning, and then, you know, we became a hotspot all of a sudden. So, you know, and then after we were locked down again, then the interagency task force decides that, like, yeah, you can start testing people that don't show symptoms rest of the country. Like, we were doing that in the beginning. But I don't know. That's just like, that's just me.
Happens. So, all in all, it's 1,840,000 cases confirmed.
1,840,000? So we got like 800,000 new positives in 2 weeks?
I guess so. So the race to 2 million is on, baby.
Huh. That's...
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
That's a lot faster than I thought. And Brazil is only testing people that show symptoms.
That's the how do you say that? That is the rumor. And just this week they're reopening gyms.
Huh.
Nice.
Hey.
Thank God there's no gym nearby here.
No, I mean, do you go to the gym? You never really struck me as a gym guy. So, you know.
No, I don't.
Like, if I could remember, from back in college, your source of exercise was walking around.
Walking around, plus, I don't know, like, oh yeah, it's the college me that you met, like, the leader already, like 10 years ago, right?
Yeah. God, we've been friends for 10 years. For over 10 years.
Yeah, because first 2 years of college, I actually joined my grandma in Mega Mall for her gym sometimes during the summer breaks.
Ooh, alright. Yeah, but like, I do seem to remember that, like, most of the exercise that you got, and this was the same for me. Like, a lot of the exercise that I got was just walking around. Yeah, because, walking. You know. And
I miss walking around Ortigas area, to be honest.
Very, very walkable. Very walkable.
Yeah, yeah, except EDSA Ortigas, if you know what I mean. Like the EDSA Mega Mall to EDSA, Robinsons. Because there's one very, very small road that has a stairway of an MRT that's like, you have to squeeze in just to pass through it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But like, that the bulk of the Ortigas area, like the Ortigas, like business district, is quite walkable.
Very walkable.
And even, sort of Shaw Boulevard, like when you cross Shaw Boulevard, like the last time I was in Manila, we hung out in, what's the name of that place? Like that Greenfields area. Like that place is also pretty walkable.
So that place, but if you crossed heading towards Wakwak, forget about being walkable.
Oh yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Just stop from Greenfield and we're good.
Right. Like
Trust
EDSA.
me.
EDSA's like a brick wall, huh? Like,
Don't even talk about like Shaw Boulevard EDSA heading to Ayala EDSA, because we're gonna walk past Pasig River area, and I just walked there once because I got tired of the standstill traffic in the bus.
right.
It made me feel dizzy just walking through a bridge from the footbridge of Pasig River, that EDSA side. I don't know why. Maybe it's the salt water. Maybe it's just, your body's balance system, or it's your mind saying, "Oh, don't lean into the right. Don't lean to the right. You might go into the water." That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that was scary as hell. What I don't miss about the Philippines is hellish commuting.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
I mean, yeah, it's bad.
it's so weird. We went and this is something that I've kind of thought about a little bit. No, the problem with the Philippines is that we like to pretend that we're the United States. Like a lot of our infrastructure, at least when it comes to transportation, is geared towards people that drive, right? It's geared towards motorists, when really, like, it ought not to be the case, right?
Yes, sir.
When there's a lot of money that's to be thrown into infrastructure in Metro Manila, given the choice between expanding the train system and making a new skyway, the preference is to make new roads to alleviate the traffic. So, that seems to be one of the big problems that I see in at least Metro Manila, right? Like, I forgot who it was, but one of those great statesmen of the past, might have been Lee Kuan Yew, but I don't know. But one of the great statesmen at some point in the past said something about the way to measure the success of a city is not whether or not the poor can afford cars, but whether or not the rich will take public transportation. And it seems like Metro Manila looked at that and said, like, no, we're not gonna do that. We'll just build more roads, man. Right? So I don't know. I don't know.
It's just odd, man.
I mean,
but it's cool, I guess. Maybe when I come back, it's gonna be better. I don't think so.
I mean, maybe, but only like marginally,
I mean, yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna experience MRT again. I'm just gonna experience bad bus again. Gonna experience, sitting down there and then having a random person enter the bus selling food, and it's not the food I like.
Now, there was what's it? Like one of the
some
biggest
random pastor. You know that? Like the random pastor with the guitar.
Yeah.
Random praise person.
Well, that's pretty standard. That's pretty standard in any sort of big city. So, like, you get all sorts of weirdos in public transportation. But like the thing that was always a point of pain for me, at least when I was living in Manila, was how the train system didn't extend into Ortigas Extension, right? And that has always been one of the big sort of traffic hotspots, at least in the part of Metro Manila that I hung out in. Like at the time, you're there at 11 in the evening, and the traffic is still quite heavy. So,
oh yeah,
it would have been
that area.
It would have been quite nice. It would have been nice if the train system, say, extended all the way until that Antipolo area, because when we look at how cities work, right? You have your urban centers, and then around that you have like the bedrooms, right? So like in Cebu, you have that whole Banilad Talamban area, which is sort of the bedroom of Cebu. In Manila, you find bedrooms in like to the east, that sort of Rizal Cainta area. You have
I feel bad for them, honestly. Like, yeah, it's like a chokehold of traffic there.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it,
right?
It's like, we don't care about you. There will be no stops in your area.
Yeah,
that kind of like that.
Another sort of bedroom area of Manila is Parañaque, like that area around.
Oh yeah,
like that area in the south, right? So you have people coming in from the east, from the south, and our train system doesn't really extend all the way there, so it becomes it becomes tremendously inconvenient to live in the place that is the place to live when you work in Manila. And so people are going to be incentivized to buy cars, which increases traffic, which increases pollution, right? So if the Philippines were able to, or at least if Manila were able to get together to make an extensive public transportation system that works and manage to make it safe and clean, like I'm pretty sure a lot of the people that would have bought cars would be using them a lot less if it becomes an affordable and a viable alternative to having to take your car everywhere, right?
Yeah. Amen. And I can finally like hang out with my friends who are at the east or in Parañaque. Hi. No, right? Like, we don't have no more excuse to not go there.
Right? Like something that I agree. Something that I would really like was when I was in college, particularly in those earlier years, and my high school friends wanted to hang out. Most of the time we would hang out in Makati, and that was pretty cool because I could get there by MRT.
Bus? Oh yeah, southbound actually is a better alternative, like from Ortigas, right? Like from Shaw, or like if you go from Boni heading to Ayala Station.
Yeah.
That's better because the way back home sucks more because we're going back north and most people are coming from Ayala going up north.
Yeah, so what I used to do was whenever we'd hang out in Makati, right? Like, which was the station that was farther away? Ortigas or Shaw? I think it might have been Ortigas, right?
So Ortigas, if you're using the one in Mega Mall.
Yeah.
But if you're using in Shang, it's gonna be Shaw.
Yeah, but then it's diba? When you're going south, say you're coming from North Ave, right? When you're going south, the first station you hit is Ortigas and then Shaw, or is it Shaw and then Ortigas? I can never remember.
Ortigas and then Shaw, going to southbound.
Right, so you get on the train in Ortigas, go all the way to Ayala. Right, that's where we hang out. When we're done with that, continue going south until you hit the end of the line, and then just cross to the other platform, right? And just go to just go to Taft, cross into the other train, and then make your way back.
Oh wow, you do that before? Oh yeah, because before that's actually a good option, and there were still less people back in 2004 and 2006.
Yeah. Right, so that was the route to do. That was the route to go home, right? Like if you're coming from Makati, you go to Taft first and then take the train going back towards Ortigas.
Actually, I never did that in those days. Like, I joined my brother like once or twice. We came from Ayala Station MRT, like Glorieta itself, or well, SM Makati when it was still brand new, and it connects to Ayala Station. There was not much people back in 2005 or 2006, or at least the time when we were heading back home. So from there, we went there to Boni, and not as crowded as it is now at those times, which is weird.
I
don't know if it means, like we have enough cars, we have more cars, but at the same time, it seems like the density of Metro Manila population is like increasing because I can feel them like every year, everyone just adds more people to the MRT line. I don't know why.
Yeah. I mean, that's really unpopular opinion. I'm a big fan of the Balik Probinsya program, right? It sucks that they're implementing it now because it's I mean it's like a great way to spread timing. It's a great way to spread the virus, but the big problem with the Philippines really is that there are too many people in Manila because there's too much money in Manila.
Amen. You know? That's true.
Like if we can start building out some of the smaller cities around the Philippines, then you can incentivize people to go back. You know, so it's one of those things where having people go back to the smaller cities in the Philippines could help solve the problem that is Manila, right? Because Manila is bursting at the seams. I mean, you know, short of actually fixing Manila, that's a pretty good option, you know.
Yeah, and it's not like it hasn't been a plan in the previous administrations. I think we go as far back as GMA's administration. They've been trying to make a metro something, like a metro provinces. I don't know what happened. That's been like 12 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, like that's.
I hope
that's really, you know,
big step forward.
I mean, you know? That's really the problem with that. That is a huge problem with the Philippines. Like, how our population isn't spread out equitably. You know, there's quite a bit of space in other parts of the country, yet we still stack people together in Manila. So, you know, I don't know.
I mean, we have a current president that doesn't like Imperial Manila, but here we are. Still a lot of people in Manila. You know?
Yeah. I mean, you know, that was part of why I was a big supporter of the guy back in the day, right? When there was this idea of decentralization, because to my mind, that was exactly the thing that the country needed. It just needed people to get out of Manila, you know?
I think what we need to do, which may also be unpopular, is like, I don't know why I'm using myself as an example right now. I'm in a federal district. Put your central government not in the most populous of cities like a Rio or a Sao Paulo. Move it
that's
upstate or downstate. I mean, the only problem with that is the Philippines is an archipelago.
Yeah, but, you know.
This is a huge chunk of land. So we don't have to use airfare. We can actually take a day's road trip from here to Rio or Sao Paulo or vice versa. But in the Philippines, you got to take a boat. Boats.
Yeah. There was that plan in the Arroyo administration to to build out the RoRo infrastructure. And that was also a really good idea because, you know, if you wanna drive from like Manila to Cebu, it shouldn't be so hard to do. But, you know, as it stands, well, it's still, the system is still kind of there, but it's not as built out as I think it should be. But, you know, this is me being somebody from the second city of the Philippines. Shall we call it? Yeah, let's call it the second city. If I may take that nomenclature.
Don't we call it the Queen City, or that's something else?
I mean, the Queen City of the South, yeah, but like, you know.
Okay. I was scared that I might have mentioned the wrong city.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Taking it from me being a little bit of a comedy nerd, right? The second city that's was Chicago.
I miss Cebu, man. I miss Cebu. Yeah. I miss your food. I miss hanging out with you guys. I miss God, what's there that I miss? Oh, I miss dim sum break, man.
Cebu.
I miss the dim sum. The beef rice, the steamed rice.
That's really good, man. But like Cebu is becoming way too crowded now, so like it's another thing where it'd be really cool to decongest Cebu as well. At least Cebu City. And I do know that there are like some municipalities like in the north of Cebu that are trying to sort of build out their infrastructure as a way to ease traffic in and out of Cebu, right?
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, a couple of municipalities and cities in the north of Cebu that are doing things like building out more commercial space. That way people that live there, instead of going all the way to Cebu, can theoretically find work in their particular city or municipality, and that sort of eases the burden on Cebu City. And I think that's sort of what they're trying to do in Manila, right? Like building out that whole Laguna area.
They've been trying to build it out, to be honest, but God, was it affected in the ashfall like early this year? Remember there was was it Taal?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so like all that, remember before COVID, something else hit us that required us to wear face masks in the metro as well.
Yeah, man.
I remember Batangas or Taal volcano.
I think it was Taal.
The asphalt, that thing. Yeah.
Because all of a sudden people were like, oh my God, that thing is active. Like, oh my God, the thing isn't tiny.
So we may forget, because, thanks to social media, everything else, that happened after 2 or 3 months, we forget. We're like the typical internet wrestling fans now. We forget after a month that this storyline happened.
Yeah.
Let's just remind you guys that Taal happened. And we were already suffering in the first few months or weeks in our country way before COVID hit us hard.
Yeah.
So it was like one problem after another. We never recovered from that yet.
And typhoon season is coming. Oh my God.
And typhoon season is coming. And Jose Marie Chan songs are coming too.
Yeah. I mean, typhoon season, generally speaking, doesn't hit like the Visayas and Mindanao too hard, except when it does, it
hits hard.
It really hits hard in Luzon, right? And
also in Visayas. Remember what happened to Ormoc or Leyte, back in 2013, Hayan?
Okay, fine. With the exception of places like Tacloban, but
that huge ass earthquake that happened in Cebu the same year. I remember Paulo having motion sickness or something. He still experiences aftershocks. I heard that in a Third World Gaming episode.
That was insane, man. There was that 7-point something earthquake that I think the epicenter. Right? Let's use the term epicenter correctly. The epicenter was around Bohol, I think, and it took down a lot of Bohol, and it also took down quite a bit of Cebu, but not as bad as it did all of the sort of buildings of historical and cultural significance in Bohol. And then 2 weeks later, something Haiyan hits the Philippines, and we're like, oh my God, what's going on? But hey.
Hey, it was fun because we still you guys got to catch up online. I didn't get to catch up online. I got to listen. So I was glad you guys were okay.
Yeah.
It's funny because, we're all on Spotify now. So when you mentioned Bodega Nights on Spotify, I scrolled down to a whole list of the very first episodes of this show.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But what's it? That's... The thing with typhoons in the Philippines is they come in from the Pacific Ocean, right? And they hit Samar and Leyte. Tacloban is particularly vulnerable. The Cebuano word for cover is actually taklob, right? You can
Whoa.
right? So, taklob, takip, that sort of thing. And
So Tacloban means
I think I'm not sure if this is like the actual sort of etymological origin of the name of Tacloban, but I think it is Tacloban because it's Tacloban ng tubig, diba? Like water covers the place quite frequently. But what happens after it hits Samar and Leyte is most of the time these typhoons will go northwest, right?
Yep.
So like very, very rarely do they come in much lower than Samar and Leyte, and like once they make landfall, it starts to weaken anyway. And then it goes north. So pretty rarely does it come in lower. And it very rarely goes south. Or it never goes south after hitting Samar and Leyte. So in that way, parts of Eastern Visayas, the Western Visayas, and like Mindanao, aren't as affected by typhoons. Like, here in Cebu, I can't remember a day since I've been living here where I haven't seen the sun for more than a day, Like, I do remember that there were some points when I was living in Manila that, there were... Sorry,
go on.
Sorry. I thought you disappeared and then... Anyway, there were some points when I was living in Manila that I do distinctly remember not seeing the sun for more than a day because it was like covered by clouds, And I don't remember the last time that happened in Cebu. So that's a thing. And that's what scares me because typhoon season is coming. COVID is more or less a shit show. And it could be tough. I hope I hope for the best, but hope can only take somebody so far.
Yeah, but hey, we gotta keep hope alive, man. Like, now who knows? Who knows? We might have we might have a cure soon enough. Hopefully, maybe.
Yeah, and as I understand it, a lot of money is being thrown towards finding a vaccine. So,
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's not like we have other focuses right now, right?
Just some leftovers from before this whole COVID thing happened. Man, the government works really slowly. That's that's by
wink,
design,
wink,
right?
That's nuts. Yeah, it's by design.
Right? So like the stuff that stuff tends to carry over. So like once this COVID thing blows over, there's going to be stuff from the COVID era that's going to start kicking in eventually because of government moving slowly. Like this ABS-CBN thing, man. This was an issue before COVID, and it's only really happening now, because government is slow that way.
Which is weird. Like, it's also thanks to COVID that I guess it got moved. I don't know. Things pushed through faster now. I don't know why. Don't you feel it? It's not just the Congress hearing of that media outlet. It's not just it's not just that bill. Think about it. Even our channel right now, we got more content due to quarantine.
Yeah.
Do you think work from home actually made us more productive?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Or made us more antsy to get the hell out of our homes? Actually go out there and do our jobs faster?
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. I saved so much time not having to show up at the office. Right?
Think about it. It's like, maybe that's a factor? Ironically or unironically?
Well,
Like, you don't want to feel cabin fever, so you're trying to do your job a bit more, if you know what I mean.
What's it? There is... I can't remember the study that was done, but so much productivity is lost because of the daily commute in Manila, right? If you look at like AG's commute, for example, he has to.
Oh hell yes! He has even reaching from Metro Manila,
right? He has like a 2 or 3 hour commute to work, right? And a lot of people, particularly, again in that problem area, in the problem areas like Parañaque and sort of Cainta and Tipolo, right? There is so much productivity that's lost in those 6 hours of travel time, because that's pretty much your whole working day. You are commuting for anywhere between 4 to 6 hours, and you were at work for about 8 hours, right? So 7 hours 8 hours, right? 8 hours excluding lunch. So, there is an entire working day, or a bulk of a working day that's lost when you have to make those insane commutes. So, people are naturally more productive because, assuming that, like me, man, if I take my 8 hour work day and I work for 8 hours, which, I do on weekdays, my daily commute is around 2 hours maybe, because like I live fairly close to the school. But, with those 2 or 3 extra hours that I get, I get to do things like actually catch up on doing the laundry, and I get to do stuff like edit Bodega Nights, and it has been coming out fairly regularly. So,
amen.
A lot of this work from home is pretty good, man.
For me, I got to actually I have more weekends to myself now, because we don't have to catch up on work on the weekends.
Yeah.
For now. I don't know, in 2 weeks. So I don't know how to say this in English, but sinusulit ko lang talaga itong weekend na to at saka yung next week.
Yeah, man, making the most out of the time that you have.
So, this weekend, I'm glad about this episode. I'm glad about the 69th episode and the next 2 episodes that are coming out. So, like next week and the week after. I have no idea what's going to happen in the next 3 episodes, but hey, if COVID hits me or whatever happens, hey, at least I can say, I got to catch up with you. I got to catch up with my friends in other shows. At least that happened already. I'll be happy to whatever. It sounds grim. I'm sorry.
Question, though. Now that like you guys are relaxing, right? Now that you guys are relaxing your restrictions in Brazil, is it going to be easier for you to get a GoTed?